Hello and welcome everyone to Mason Arena. We are set here for a GMC Boys Varsity Volleyball Showdown where the 2-1 Mason Comets are taking on the 0-2 Princeton Vikings. I'm Adam Little here with my first broadcast with ICRC TV, and I couldn't be happier as it should be a great matchup. Comets, they took a hard loss yesterday to the Carroll Patriots as their play was really sloppy, and they're really hoping to improve on that in their performance today. And the Princeton Vikings, 0-2 on the season, they took their losses to Oak Hills and Taylor High School. So they're hoping to get their first win of the season. And it looks like it will be Princeton serving first. And it will be number 1, Ari Turner, to start the game off. And serves ball over. That serve will be turned by Anthony Fago. Joseph Hopper to hit, and that ball will go out of bounds. That'll be the first point for the Princeton Vikings. And it looks like somebody on the Princeton side may have touched the net, so that'll actually be the Comets point. And it will be the right side hitter, Bryson King, to serve the ball. And he floats that ball over, and that's returned by Lamont Jackson, and over the net goes Joseph Hopper for the tip, and that ball will go sailing down off the hands of number 13. And Bryson King will serve the ball again. And Johnny Griffin tips the ball over. A bit of a misstep there as it looks like Mason touched the net, and it will be a point for the Vikings as the Comets are up 2-1. And number 13 is back for the Vikings to serve the ball over, and he will get it over. It'll be Habra to serve for the third time of the game, or hit for the third time of the game, excuse me, and he'll get that kill. Comets are up 3-1. It'll now be Habra, who just got the kill, to serve the ball over. And that ball will be sent over by Ari Turner, the setter. And Anthony Fago with a big spike, but it looks like that ball will be tipped over, and that'll be a Viking point. Fago's a little frustrated after that one, hoping he could have gotten that one over the net. A little bit of a miss pass there, and that will be free balled over by Adam Jeffers. And it'll be another Viking point tying the game up. And Coach Tamette Duckworth is liking what she's seeing from her side of the ball right now as they just tied the game up against a tough Mason team. It will be Johnny Griffin to serve the ball over again. There seems to be a little bit of trouble on the floor as the official is trying to figure something out. Looks like a little bit of a substitution conflict on the Viking side of the ball, or Viking side of the net. And Princeton hits it over again. Over to Anthony Fago. That ball we tip back up. And that ball will be touched on the net, touched by the net by the Vikings, and be a Comet point, giving them the lead. And here we got a replay right here. As it looks like the Vikings just weren't ready for that play. Yeah, it was a lift on the play. And that ball will go straight into the net by the middle blocker, Adam Jeffers. And he'll be substituted out for the sophomore, Lane Walter. It's great to see the young guys getting some playing time on the varsity field. And speaking of classes, Princeton has a lot of seniors on their team. Actually, 5 of their starters today. So lots of experience on that side of the ball. And the hard hit by Anthony Fago, that'll be returned by the Princeton Vikings as that ball goes over the net. And Anthony Fago with a powerful kill He is pumped up about that one. He's been waiting for that all game. Anthony Fago is the leading hitter on the Comet team with 18 kills in his first game. And we got another replay of that kill there. And just look at the vertical that Anthony Fago gets. He might not be the tallest outside hitter, but he really has the hops to make up for it. So that'll put the Comets on top. And that ball set over the net, but the very tall Will Burke taps it over. Not a lot of size on the Comet roster, but Will Burke really makes up for that. He is one tall man, as you can see there in that replay. Ball sent over by the Comets. A little bit of miscommunication there by the Vikings, but they get the ball over. And it looks like Bryson King sends that ball over, and the Princeton Vikings cannot get a hand on it, and that'll extend the Comet lead to 3. Out there, they are 7-4 in the first set. Get a replay here of Bryson King's hit, and it will be the setter Porter Lorenz to serve again. Excuse me. Tip over by the Vikings. Out to Fago again. And Fago drops that ball right on the corner. Nothing the Vikings could really do about that one, as that his ball is perfectly placed to extend the Comet lead to 4. Going back to Anthony Fago, 28 kills on the year, excuse me. Averaging, or 18 kills, or 28 kills on the year, excuse me. A little bit of miscommunication there by the Vikings. As Anthony Fago tips it over again, and it looks like number 1, Ari Turner touches the net. So that'll be another point for the Comets, or a lift, excuse me. Anthony Fago getting some power there. I'm not really sure what happened there. Maybe a lift, but that'll give the Comets another point as they extend their lead even more. And you can just see the pure power of Anthony Fago, not only on his spikes, but on his serves. He just really gets the ball over there, and it's hard to stop for the opposing teams. And Princeton is really feeling the effects of Anthony Fago right now, as they are down 10-5 right now. And speaking of that, Anthony Fago with the ace. He really is having himself a tremendous first set for the Comets. 11-5 score. And back to last game against Carroll High School, the Comets, they were struggling a little bit. They couldn't get the ball over the net, but clearly right now, as they hold the 6-point lead, they're doing a great job of getting the ball over the net, forcing Princeton to make mistakes. As Joseph Habra sends that one out of bounds, and that'll be a point for the Princeton Vikings. Looks like it may have been a lift there, or somebody went over the net, but will turn out to be a point for the Comets. And they extend their lead to 7. Another miscommunication there by the Princeton Vikings. Can't get the ball to the setter, Ari Turner. And Fago will continue to serve, as the Comets now have an 8-point lead over the Vikings. And Fago will end his serving streak as that ball sails out of bounds. A point for the Vikings, lead for the Comets now 13-6. It will be Lamont Jackson to serve the ball for the Princeton Vikings, as he does the exact same thing that Anthony Fago did and sends that ball out of bounds. Looks like there'll be a substitution on the Comet side of the ball. Tyler Smith checking in, Will Burke, and Lane Walter checking out. And the newly checked in Tyler Smith will serve the ball over, as the Vikings have a nice tip over, but Bryson King gets control of it. And Joseph Habra sends the ball over, but again, and Bryson King will get the spike over the hands of number 3 Johnny Griffin. Just can't get a hold on the ball, and or number 13, excuse me. As it'll be another Comet serve. The Comets have really had major possession of the game here, serving almost every ball as Ty Smith goes to serve it again. And that's part of the reason they're ahead right now, is they're having control of the ball as Habra's about to, or Vega is about to send it over. And another miscommunication there. They just can't, the Princeton Vikings can't really seem to get the ball to the setter right now. And you can't get the ball to your setter, you can't get some clean hits outside, and it's part of the reason they're not putting a lot of points on the board right now. And Ari Turner will be able to set it as that ball is tipped over, but Adam Jeffers just tips that ball right to the logo. And nobody's there for the Vikings to reserve that, as the Comets extend their lead to 11 points. And again, the Vikings can't seem to get the ball to the center right now. And as you see, Ari Turner diving all over the floor, trying to get the ball, as looks like that Princeton Vikings will call a timeout. Coach Duckworth not really liking what she's seeing. And in this timeout, it looks like we're going to send this over to a break, and we'll be right back at you.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to ICRC TV Sports.
Come up now, she gets through. Here comes a shot. Goal! Brings attack with the 10-yard line. Touchdown, Vikings!
On air or online, this is media for your community. This is ICRC TV.
Here to Mason Arena is a GMC Boys Varsity Volleyball Showdown, where the Mason Comets are currently leading the Princeton Vikings 18-6, and the Comets are going to send the ball over, giving that ball to Ari Tucker, but he's going to send that over, and Adam Jeffers again with the tip down. He's really been a weapon for the Comets right now, with multiple tips over on the other side, and the Vikings just can't seem to get a hold of him. And it'll be the junior Tyler Smith to serve it over again. Looks like somebody touched the net on the Princeton side of the ball when they were going up for that block. So it'll extend the Comet lead to 14. This has really been just a one-sided show, as the Comets are just kind of dominating the Vikings. They're being able to get the ball to their strong hitters, Joseph Habra and Anthony Fago, and they're sending the ball to the other side of the net, where the Princeton Vikings aren't able to get that ball back up. So that's one of the big reasons why the Comets are ahead in this game, as Tyler Smith has an ace there, and so he will continue to serve the ball. And the Comets only need 3 more points to win this set. So this has been a pretty quick set. But the Vikings are still in it. You know, there's 5 sets in volleyball, best out of 5. So the game's not over yet. And there's a nice pass. It looks like number 13 will send it over. And Joseph Habra sends it over, but it looks like Joseph Habra touched the net. And so that'll be a Princeton Viking point, giving them 7 points on the game. It will be the senior, Ari Tucker, to send the ball over. And now Bryson King getting over, and just looks like Ari Tucker wasn't ready for that, as Bryson King gets the kill. Off the fingertips of number 6, James Murray, the senior as well. And as I said before, lots of seniors on this Princeton varsity roster. So have a lot of experience, but that experience isn't showing right now, as the Comets are clearly dominating them right now, as you can see in the score, 23-7. So it'll be Bryson King to serve it over, just had the kill, and now he's looking to get an ace to try to extend the Comet lead, and he does. Comets only need 1 more point here to win this first set, as they're ahead 24-7. And he gets another ace. Coach Melnick really liking what he's seen with his Comet team right now, as they just dominated the Princeton Vikings in the first set. Now still potentially 4 more sets to play. The Vikings are still in this game. And so we will send you on a break at the end of the first set, and we'll be back with you for some more GMC boys volleyball action.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to ICRC TV Sports.
Three-pointer. Got it. In for the Comets score. Win. Comets win. Yeah.
What to expect when you're expecting
Like here.
a teenager.
Today, I'm going to show you how to team-proof your home. First step, hide the car keys. Preferably somewhere they would never look. Challenges will come up. Be ready for them. Hi, honey.
Ready for the... Mom, you don't use mannequins in the mannequin challenge.
You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
On air or online, this is media for your community. This is ICRC TV.
When I was growing up, my mom was extremely tidy. We were trained to put things back where we got them from. One day, when I walked into my mom's house, I felt like I walked to someone else's house. There was stuff everywhere, and just growing up the way I grew up and to see this transition was very alarming.
When Sean talked to me, it was a wake-up call, and that's when I went to the doctor.
Good morning, Uglyville.
Every ugly doll is unique.
I'm Moxie.
Bobo.
Wait.
Call me Slick Doll.
What?
And every child is too.
They can be pretty lovable.
That's why when you travel, you should make sure your child is in the right seat for their age and size.
This is why you're the wisest doll in town.
Well, keep them safe by visiting nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Isn't that right, gibberish cat?
Find the right seat today.
What to expect when you're expecting a teenager.
Today we're talking about how to wake up your teen, and this works literally every time.
Good kisses. Good kisses. You heard how loud
I heard. It wasn't you. Yeah. It was the...
Is that bacon?
You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
And welcome back to Mason Arena, where the Comets have just taken the first set of this game where they are taking on the Princeton Vikings. As you can see here, head coach of the Mason Comets, Paul Melnick, really liking what he's seen. Last game, they suffered a loss to Carroll High School, and he was really frustrated with the play, and they were just playing really sloppy, and their heads really weren't really in the game. But today, it was clear they clearly are, as they just destroyed the Vikings in the first set, and looks like the senior, James Murray, is going to get the kill as Bryson King can't get his hands on the ball. And looks like this second set may be a little different as Princeton takes the first point of the game. It'll be number 13 of the Vikings to serve the ball over. And looks like the setter for the Comets gets his foot tangled. And number 4, Greg Johnson, spiked that over, but it's received. And that ball will go over for the Comets. Tying the game up 1-1 in this second set. And during the break, Coach Temet Duckworth of the Princeton Vikings was really trying to get the point across to our teams that they just needed to get their heads in the game, and that if they want to potentially win this game, then they need to start getting their ball to the setter and getting the ball up. And they were able to do that in the second half, or the second set, as Ari Turner gets the ball over. And it'll be Adam Jeffers sends the ball over, or out of bounds for the Comets. And the Princeton lead is now 2-1. Johnny Griffin, the senior, is going to serve the ball over. And looks like it was maybe a lift on the Comet side of the ball, as it will be another Viking point, and they will extend the lead of the second set, 3-1. Griffin will serve again. One of the senior leaders on the squad. A nice serve there as Habra has some trouble receiving, and they're going to call a lift. And the Comets are kind of showing out the way the Vikings did in the first set, as looking really sloppy. They're falling down 4-1 right now. Vikings trying to get the ball over. but Lamont Jackson will send that ball out of bounds as he sends it behind him. The Viking lead will be cut to just 2 points now. Senior Adam Jeffers will send the ball over. Adam Jeffers, one of 4 seniors on this varsity squad. 3 of them you can see in the lineup right now. Adam Jeffers, Bryson King, and Joseph Habra. Joseph Habra, one of the main leaders on the team. He's done a great job pumping up his squad this season. And it will be James Murray to send the ball over. That goes out of bounds in the right corner. And it will be a 2-point Princeton lead now, as the junior setter, Poor Lorenz, gonna float this ball over for the Comets. Great hustle there by Lorenz, trying to get the ball over. And a nice spike there by Lamont Jackson, but the sophomore Lane Walter able to get a hand on the ball. And it'll be Joseph Haber with the kill. And here we go, we got a replay of that spike, and then nice return and the kill by Anthony Fago, excuse me. Anthony Fago, one of the top outside hitters on this team. And it would be Lamont Jackson with the kill there as off the hands. Or it will, must have touched the net there, so it'll actually be a Comet. Or no, I was right the first time, as it goes off the hands of Bryson King and goes out of bounds. And a float serve there by Greg Johnson. And Fago trying to get that ball over, but it's blocked by Lamont Jackson. Lamont Jackson having a strong second set here for the Princeton Vikings, one of the main reasons why they're ahead right now. Whereas it looks like that ball will actually go out of bounds, so it'll be a Comet point, and the junior Anthony Fago will serve that over. And it'll be Ari Turner doing everything he can to try to get that ball over, but a hard pass, as all he can do is just tip that into the net. Anthony Fago for another serve. And that ball will be sent back over the net. And it'll be a block by Lamont Jackson, as that will be another point for the Vikings, giving them the lead. A tie no more, Jackson says. You can see the big size advantage over the Mason setter. That ball's blocked, but Comet's able to return it. And that ball will go out of bounds as Johnny Griffin tries to get a hand on that, but hits off the right side of his hand. It'll be one of those senior leaders, Bryson King, for the Comets to serve the ball over, as it looks like there'll be substitution as Adam Jeffers and Will Burke are checking in, the 2 big guys for the Comets. As we are tied 7-7 in the second set of this game. As King sends it over. Great return by number 8, Lamont Jackson. And an even better tip by Johnny Griffin, the senior for the Princeton Viking squad, as they will have the 1-point lead over the Comets. It'll be Ari Turner again to send it over, but it looks like that ball's going to hit the net, as it will be a tie game. And the big guy, Will Burke, checking out just after he checks in. And Tyler Smith will be serving the ball over, having himself a nice little game. Great pass by number 8. As that ball will be blocked by Jeffers and returned back over to the Comet side of the net. And Anthony Fago with the back row attack. And looks like number 3, Johnny Griffin's going to tip that over. Not his first of the game, so he's had himself a night at the net in this second set. Number 13 for the Vikings serves that ball out of bounds. The Vikings would have a lot bigger advantage if they were able to get some of their serves in bounds. I would say almost half of their serves have gone out of bounds recently, and Coach Duckworth is really trying to communicate to that to her squad right now. And looks like the Vikings just weren't ready for that as that ball goes off the hand of Lamont Jackson. And Habra is proud of himself on that serve as his teammates are high-fiving him. He'll send it over again. And James Murray trying to get a little too fancy with it there as he trying to tip that ball over, so it'll be another Comet point. Vikings are starting to lose their lead that they just had. They were up by about 5 at one point, but now they're losing by 2. And a great pass. It looks like Murray's just going to take that over on the second ball. And Fago, that ball is just going to go out of bounds. And the Comets are wanting a tip, and they got it. They're going to call a tip. And we're going to see if we can see that tip on this replay right now. Yeah, it does. Seems like it's going to go off the hand of James Murray there. So that was the right call by the officials. As Habra is going to send that ball into the net, as it will cut the Comet lead to 2. And again, the Vikings cannot get their serves right as Johnny Griffin sends that one into the net. And the Vikings only have 6 men on the just that have came here, so maybe a little bit of they might be pretty tired, so some of that could be kicking in right now. And that ball by the sophomore Lane Walter is going to get off the net. That's really a hard serve to return, as number 13 of the Vikings had a great effort there, but just couldn't get that ball up in the air. It'll be Walter again for the serve. Great set by Ari Tucker as the Vikings send that ball over in the net. And it'll be Anthony Fago again with the kill. Off the fingertips of the Princeton blockers, but that just dropped the ball right at the edge of the logo, as you can see here. Great positioning by the Vikings, but just can't get their hands on it. And Lane Walter, another great serve there, as the Vikings can't get a hold of the ball. Part of the reason the Comps are ahead, they've been having some great serves recently. Really tough for the Vikings to get a hand on those balls, and Coach Mielnik's liking what he's seeing. Again, Comets 2-1 on the season. Tough loss yesterday, but looked really strong in their first 2 games. First against West Claremont, and their second against Lakota West, beating West Claremont in 4 sets and sweeping Lakota West in 3. As Coach Duckworth is trying to get her team's confidence back up, as they're not out of this game. 6-point set right now, down by 1. And they are hoping to get this set a little bit closer. And it looks like it'll be Lane Walter again to serve, coming off that nice ace. The sophomore. Really impressive. A sophomore playing some hefty minutes on varsity. And if you're Coach Mielnik, you love to see that, having some nice youth on the team. As Lamont Jackson trying to get that ball over, frustrated with himself as that ball just hits the top of the net. And it'll be Walter again to serve. And it'll be the nice, and what a beautiful spike there by Lamont Jackson. And 9 kills averaged in the game, and that's part of the reason why he's the leading kill count on the Viking squad. And let's just take a replay. And there's the power. And there's no way the sophomore Walter is going to get his hands on that one, as the score is now 17-11 Comets. And again, the nice spike by Lamont Jackson. He is really, since the timeout, can't come out of his shell, and is really having a tremendous last 2 serves for the Viking squad. James Murray sends it over, but that ball can't get over the net, as he's going to need some help from his Viking teammate to get that ball over. It's something kind of unusual in volleyball. Both of these teams actually do not have a libero dress tonight. Libero getting unlimited substitutions, automatic back row player. So that's a common theme for both these teams. And Anthony Fago looks like he crossed the line there. And the Comet lead is slowly collapsing as they are only leading 18-13 now. And Greg Johnson, kind of a funky serve, but he gets that over as Anthony Fago with another kill, adding his total on the night. He really is one of the strongest players, and in my opinion, I would say the best hitter on this Comet program. Only a junior, so the Comets are going to be really excited to have him back next year, as he is going to serve the ball and hope to have as much success as his last play did. And a nice return by Greg Johnson. As it looks like that ball touched the line, yes. A great tip there by Lamont Jackson. Having himself a phenomenal second set. And look at that play. The diving effort off of his forearm. That's not easy to do. So Joseph Habra, good adjustment there, and great effort by the setter, Ari Turner, but can't get that ball back to one of his teammates as Comets now get their 20th point of the set. This set a lot closer than the first one. Princeton really starting to feel their way. Although they are losing the set, playing a lot better. And it'll be the senior, Love Patel, checking in. Get some of his first action in the game, so he'll be serving the ball over. Nice return by James Murray as Johnny Griffin will tip the ball over. And Joseph Habra sends that ball over the net. And again, James Murray cannot get position on the ball. And it looked like that ball may have gone out of bounds, but Murray jumps for it and doesn't get great position on that. So it'll be Patel again to serve. And a nice hard spike there by Lamont Jackson. Really is one of the star players for the Vikings, as it looks like one of the Vikings touched the net there. About 4 of them on the net, so when there's that many people up on the line, something's bound to happen. It looks like a mistake was made there by the Vikings, as Patel will have his 3rd straight serve over. And the tip there by Johnny Griffin. Not exactly sure what happened there, but that's going to be another Comet point, as Love Patel, his arm's probably getting tired after the amount of serves he's gotten. Comets up 23-14, trying to extend a 10-point lead there, and they do. Another miscommunication there by the Vikings, and these past couple serves have been just like the first set. Not what you want to see if you're Coach Duckworth, as it's a match point here. And Jeffers with the block, and that Comets will get the 2nd set of the game, extending their lead to 2-0. They only need one more set to get to win it all here. And with the end of the 2nd set, looks like we're going to send this over to a break, word from our sponsors, and we'll be back with the 3rd set here.
I was physically at school, but my mind wasn't at school. I had problems at home. That's when I met Narnese. She started helping me a little bit, like, Nia, I don't know what you're doing, but your future is more important. She's my strength. It takes a village to help somebody get their diploma. It changes your whole life.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
I'll be right back. Hi! You think you're probably sober?
Yeah.
But you're thinking about taking the back roads home, just in case. If you're probably sober, then why would you do that? Good choice.
Probably okay isn't okay. If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
That's a full glass of wine. I'll be chatting you later.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to ICRC TV Sports.
Come up now. She gets through. Here comes a shot. Goal! Brings attack with the 10-yard line. Touchdown, Vikings.
Oh, hey, Julia. You ready to play band with us? I'm going to play my clarinet.
And Elmo's going to play his drum. Drum loud.
Oh, well, you know what to do, Julia.
Julia knows.
With Julia's autism, loud sounds can be too much.
But she still loves to make music. Play band.
Early screening for autism can make a lifetime of difference. Find out more at screenforautism.org.
And welcome back to Mason Arena. The Comets now have a 2-0 lead over the Princeton Vikings in this GMC Boys Varsity Volleyball Showdown. Head coach of the Princeton Vikings, Temet Duckworth, her 22nd year coaching the Viking program and 33rd year overall. So a lot of experience, and she's clearly somebody that knows the game of volleyball, and to help lead and coach the Comets over in this deficit right now. Princeton looking a little shaky right now as they fall in the first two sets, but the last set a lot better, and they're really starting to get the ball to their setter. And when they were getting the ball to their setter, they could get some nice sets to Lamont Jackson, as Lamont Jackson was getting some points. And speaking of setter, the setter Ari Turner serving the ball over, and Adam Jeffers, what a tremendous spike there, as he just hits the feet of Greg Johnson. Nothing he can do about that. And we're looking at a replay here. Yeah, that's a hard one to stop. And it'll be the senior, Bryson King, serve the ball over for the Comets. And the nice tip there by Johnny Griffin. You know, when you're down this much in the game, you just gotta keep your heads up high, and that's something that Coach Duckworth was talking to her team about during the break. Just keep your heads held high. They have the talent to have some success with the Comet team, and they're hoping to show it in the third set here, as it'll be Caleb Clark Glover, the junior, to serve the ball over for the Comets. Or, excuse me, for the Vikings. And that ball will be blocked by Johnny Griffin, but it goes out of bounds, so it'll be a point for the Comets, as Joseph Habra is going to serve the ball over. And a little bit of a miscommunication there by the Vikings, as that ball goes off the hands of Lamont Jackson. Well, Jackson, not as much as a defensive player, more of an offensive player, getting those hard spikes and leading the team in kills, as we've seen earlier in the game. And it'll be the nice tip there by Greg Johnson, as it doesn't look like anybody on the Comet team is expecting that. Johnson, excuse me, he's a pretty tall man, and that's something the Comets really don't have a lot of. Don't have a lot of size. So Johnson is using that to his advantage, as the Comets are going to get a point there. Speaking of size, one of the tall players for the Comets, Wilbur, checking in. And it'll be the junior, Noah Hirschberger, checking in for his first minutes of the game, as he's going to be serving that ball over. And that ball will barely go out. You know, you love seeing some of these guys that normally sit on the bench getting some varsity playing action, really helping them build experience for when they step on the court next season, as a lot of the Comet seniors are graduating next season. Along with the Vikings have a lot of seniors on the season, as a little bit of another miscommunication there by the Comets, as the Princeton Vikings will tie the ball game up. You know, James Murphy having himself a nice little game. A couple miscommunications with his squad, but other than that, Murray's having himself a solid game. And I think I jinxed myself as he serves that ball into the net. Common theme here for the Vikings throughout this whole game. Haven't really been able to get their serves in, as the freshman, Tyler Ehlers, checking out. Again, you love to see freshmen getting some varsity action. He'll be a great asset for the Comets over the next 4 years. And James Murray, he spikes that ball right past the junior, Noah Hirschberger. Doesn't look like Hirschberger was expecting that one. And a spike coming from the senior, Lamont Jackson. That's something I would be scared of too. He can really hit the ball. It looks like they're gonna call that serve a lift. Not something you normally see. Or something on Mason, excuse me. Yeah, it looks like a rotation error by the Comets. And that ball tipping off the net with a nice return by Bryson King. As Lamont Jackson really having himself a night as that block. And Anthony Fago, speaking of hitting it hard, not only can Lamont Jackson hit it hard, for the Comets, Anthony Fago can really get in the air and get that ball on the ground. We'll see in the replay here. A nice set by the Port Lorenz behind him. And right after that great spike, Anthony Fago is going to serve that ball into the net. And it'll be Lamont Jackson, the star player for the Princeton Vikings, to serve that ball over, and he does. Joseph Haber to hit it. Lamont Jackson and Will Burke kind of tapping it back at each other. And that ball is blocked by Caleb Clark Glover, the junior, one of the youngest players on this Princeton Viking team, as he's excited about that one. A great solo block there by Clark Glover. As the Vikings have the 2-point lead over the Comets, something they've been looking forward to in this game, hoping to stay alive as they're down 2 sets. And it'll be James Murray with the block. So the Princeton Vikings starting to get a little rally in, or out of bounds, excuse me. So still do have a lot of the momentum, even though that last ball did go out of bounds. Sorry about that. And it'll be Ty Smith to serve the ball over for the Comets, a junior. Nice weapon that they're going to be glad to have back next season. And the hard spike by Johnny Griffin, but returned by the Comets as Bryson King returns it. So great blocking by the Princeton front during this volley, but Comets have been doing a great job of getting that ball back over. And how about that? Johnny Griffin using his length and catching the defense off guard as he kind of chucks that ball behind him. And Anthony Fago was not expecting that. And looks like Porter Lorenz is going to set that ball to Adam Jeffers, but great effort by the Vikings trying to keep that ball in the air, and unfortunately they cannot get that ball back over the net. They cannot get that ball over the net, so it will be a Comet point. And the freshman, Tyler Ehlers, serving it over. And he really does have some great skill, especially for a freshman. He's going to be a great asset for the Comets, not only in the future, but even this season, as you can see there, as he has the ace. Johnny Griffin couldn't get good, Caleb Clark Glover couldn't get good position on that ball. And Ari Turner sends that ball over the net. And the Vikings will send it over, but barely goes behind them, or barely goes behind the line, excuse me. As the Vikings sent that ball over backwards. Hard to get the ball in bounds when you're not seeing where the ball's going. As Ehlers will send the ball over again, as they have the 10-9 lead and make it an 11-9 lead. Ehlers really stepping out for the Comets right now, as that ball is sent out of bounds. Looks like I jinxed him too, as he had a nice number of serves, but then that one goes out of bounds. The serving error. 11-10 Comet lead. That ball set outside for Joseph Habra, and he will tap the ball over, but looks like he touched net. Anthony Fago trying to cheer Joseph Haber up after that one, as Johnny Griffin sends that ball over for the Vikings. And Adam Jeffers having himself a night. How about that? I would love to see the number of kills he's gotten during this game, along with the other middle back on the Vikings, Lamont Jackson. Both of those middle blockers having themselves a night, as Joseph Haber will send the ball over. And right off the hands of Greg Johnson. Joseph Haber, one of the leaders on this Comet team, a senior, and he's really what the Comets needed, especially after that tough loss yesterday. Really helping them group together and get their minds right to help have a pretty successful night so far. They're leading the Vikings 2-0, and he will send that ball out of bounds. So it will be the senior James Murray serves the ball over for the Vikings. Looks like something's on the court there they're trying to pick up. As number 3, Johnny Griffin, returns that to the official. And James Murray sending it over. Great serve. But the Comets able to get hold of it as it hits one of the speakers on the top of the court. Comets lucky to have a pretty big arena, so a lot of height. And Anthony Fago, another kill, having himself a night as well. A lot of kills back and forth between the Comets and Vikings. Great performances by Anthony Fago and Adam Jeffers on the Comet side of the ball. Tremendous night by Lamont Jackson, James Murray on the Viking side of the ball. It looks like there'll be a timeout called. And Coach Melnick trying to gather the Comet boys together, have their get their heads back in the game. They're ahead by 2 right now, but they're hoping to take this game in a sweep. They want to get out of here after they have themselves the first 2 great sets, hoping to finish the second one off. And Coach Duckworth telling her squad to stay in it, as they're not far behind in the 3rd set. Only down 2 points to the Comets right now. Now, if we look at some of the GMC standings, Mason is second in the GMC with a 1-0 record in the GMC, 2-1 overall. As Princeton is 3rd to last, 0-2 on the season, and 0-1 in the GMC. With a beautiful tip there by Greg Johnson to close the gap to just 1 point. As we're taking a look at the replay here. As Tyler Ehlers can't get a hold of the ball. And the very shallow serve by Greg Johnson. But the middle back, Will Burke, able to get a hand on it. And how about the setter, Porter Lorenz, getting on some action as he tips that ball in the very bottom corner for the Comets. A very hard play to do, especially when you're a setter. And backwards too, right off the net. Tremendous, as he will be serving the ball for the Comets now. And that really is one of Lamont Jackson's signature moves, the float behind your back. Will Burke able to get a hold on that last one, but looks like it'll be a Comet point. Looks like Jackson touched the net there. So it'll be Lorenz again to serve. And the Vikings will send the ball over. Looks like they wanted a tip, but they're not going to get it. It'll be Lorenz to serve again, as the Mason lead is 17-13. Lorenz hoping to extend that. And that ball will be tapped over, but the Vikings not ready for that ball to come back over on the first hit. Or, excuse me, it looks like Comets weren't ready. This will be 4 touches. And Anthony Fago, what a spike there. Drills the right back corner. And there's nothing the Vikings can do to stop there. They were in great position, but he sends that ball right into the corner. He's really a tremendous hitter. And one of the best in the league. And again, I keep jinxing both the Comets and the Vikings as Anthony Fago serves that into the net. Still having himself a great night off of serves and hits, as it will be our returner to send the ball over. And looks like some miscommunication on the Comet side of the ball, as the captain, Joseph Habra, is trying to explain something to the officials. Maybe a serve out of order, or excuse me, substitution error. As they're going to reserve that ball. Ari Turner sending it over again. And Will Burke, strong hit there, but sends that ball into the net. So that'll be a Viking point, closing the gap to only 1 point. Turner again to serve it over. Certainly somebody that the Viking program is going to miss as he's a senior. And King rolls the ball over. And a nice return by the junior Hirschberger. Great volley here by the Comets and Vikings. Strong hit by Will Burke, but that's nothing Lamont Jackson can't stop. As Joseph Hopper rolls it to the back of the court, but Lamont Jackson able to get another hand on that, as showing his defensive skills along with his offensive. And looks like it'll be a double touch by Lamont Jackson as he hits it with his hands and then with his feet. So score 19-17, Comets 2-point lead. The junior Ty Smith to serve. And a great spike there by number 3, Johnny Griffin. 2 great spikes actually, but Comets able to return them, and looks like they're going to call a lift on the Vikings. Johnny Griffin not liking that call, but it's going to extend the Comet lead to 3 as Tyler Smith, Jr., served that ball into the net, and Caleb Clark Glover is going to be subbing in for number 13 of the Princeton Vikings. You can see in the bottom right corner of your screen. And the newly subbed in Clark Glover is going to serve the ball for the Vikings. It's a 2-point game. Porter Lorenz is set outside to Joseph Habra. As a nice block by number 4 and 3, Greg Johnson, and Johnny Griffin able to get the block assist. Point for the Vikings. 1-point game now as they're only trailing the Comets 19-20. And Joseph Habra barely sends that ball to bounds. But his teammates coming back there to lift his spirits. That was a nice hit, just very closely out of bounds. And Princeton's going to serve that ball into the net as they now trailing the Comets by 1. And the freshman, Tyler Ehlers, subbing in for Bryson King. 2 lefties, Bryson King and Tyler Ehlers, as Ehlers is going to serve that ball. Service returned by Princeton. And a tremendous spike there by Greg Johnson. That is something the Princeton does a great job of. And when they can get the ball to their setter, and a beautiful set there by our returner, they sure can pound the ball in and know how to target some of the weaker players on the Comet side of the ball. Just the freshman, Tyler Ehlers, but really is going to be a tremendous asset for the Comets over the next 4 years. As Porter Lorenz is going to set that all over for Adam Jeffers, but he hits into the net as Princeton takes a lead in the 3rd set, hoping to stay alive as the Comets are trying to send this game to an end. And a very shallow serve by Johnny Griffin. Anthony Fago rolls it over, and looks like 2 Princeton defenders, or 2 Princeton players are going to run into each other. Joseph Habra going to try to use that to his advantage, but can't get it over. Lamont Jackson tips it over. Anthony Fago with the hard roll. As all Johnny Griffin can do is send that back over to the other side of the net. And that is going to be a triple touch, actually, by Lamont Jackson. Phenomenal roll, put some nice topspin on that. As Joseph Habra, he will now serve the ball for the Comets. It's a tie game here in the third set. Comets ahead 2-0 for Just Irving joining, and Joseph Habra serves that into the net, trying to tell himself just to calm down and focus up. James Murray sending it over for the Princeton Vikings. As Adam Jeffers, what a tremendous heave as he just taps that ball into the left corner of the Princeton side of the court. Nothing the Vikings can do about that tremendous play by the Comets. If the game is tied up 23-23. You know, the Comets are really dominated in the first set. Won by a pretty big margin in the second set. But each set, the Vikings have really improved. And now they're actually leading the Comets here on match point as they're ahead 24-23. Sophomore Lane Walter checking in. As the Vikings are going to serve this over the net, hoping to take their first set. As a very shallow serve. Lane Walter, but no. Will Burke, tremendous spike there. He's just got great size on a smaller Comet roster, but he really makes up for it there as he just drops that at the feet of Johnny Griffin and Greg Johnson. So Lorenz to send it over. A little bit of a mispass by the Vikings, but they're able to get that ball over the net, and that's all you need in volleyball. Force the other team to make mistakes. And that was something the Comets have been doing a great job in the first set doing, is forcing Princeton to make mistakes. And Princeton happened to make a lot of mistakes in the first set as the Comets kind of walloped them. But very different tone in the third set as Princeton match point, hoping to take this as you have to win by 2 in volleyball. But Anthony Fago says no. His Comets are going to stay alive. Game tied at 25. Nice little tap there. And Ari Turner just can't get a hand on it. Ari Turner sets it to Johnny Griffin, but Will Burke and Bryson King tap the ball over as it drops on the logo. Match point here for the Comets as they're hoping to end this game, but Coach Duckworth is going to call a timeout, try to rally her team up. Only down by 1 point. Very important next serve here, as this could determine the end of the game. 22 years coaching the Viking boys volleyball program, so she knows what she's talking about. As she is hoping for her squad not to get swept here 3-0 in this game. And Coach Melnick telling his squad the same thing, just to settle down and force Princeton to make mistakes, as they did in the first and second sets. Hoping to take this one away. Their star player, Anthony Fago, is going to be able to serve that ball over for the Comets. And he does it. He ends the game with an ace. Greg Johnson frustrated with himself after that one, but a tremendous serve by Anthony Fago, as due to COVID, can't shake hands, so each teams will wave over the net. It's been a great time here as the Comets take the lead over, or take the game, sweeping the Princeton Vikings 3-0. I've been Adam Little. We've been watching, and good night, everyone.